What is up, Colorado? Welcome back to Nuggets and Brews, where we talk Denver Nuggets and we get to drink local Colorado craft beer. You know, we might have some weird talking points after 5 beers, but you know what? That's the whole point of this podcast, is to have a good time, talk some Denver Nuggets, and just kind of let it all out there for fans, and to kind of just give a fan perspective, because after all, I'm not really a reporter. I'm not really someone who's, is in the locker room, covers the team or anything like that, but you know what? I am a season ticket holder. I'm basically going to be at every game, and I tend to watch every road game here at home. So, I do have a bit of a perspective, and I just love basketball. I love to cover the team, and, as much as I love the Broncos, Rockies, and the Avalanche, I just wanted to make a podcast that's just about the Denver Nuggets, and so here I am. My name is Misa. Like I said, welcome to Nuggets and Brews. Let's get into today's episode. I'm going to try and make just 2 segments. The first one's going to be like super quick, but if I can just make one whole segment, that'll totally make it totally easy for me to upload and kind of edit and stuff like that. But you know what? Who cares about the back and the back end editing stuff like that? We're here to talk some Nuggets. But first and foremost, I actually got this beer from Joyride, which is a local brewery here in Denver, which is like right across the street from Sloan's Lake. So if you're in the Sloan's Lake area, make sure to check out Joyride. Super awesome beer and great atmosphere. They even have a rooftop that you can go to, and you can actually see the park, and you can actually see the lake. And on really clear days, I think you can actually see part of you can see the skyline of downtown, which is actually super nice. So that's super cool. Anyways, right now I got this. It's a Crowler. It is a Duke of Lizards. It's a double dry hopped hazy IPA. As you know, IPA is the drink of choice here in Colorado. We don't put milk in our cereal in Colorado. We put IPA in there. It's just what we do. It doesn't matter. Anyways, let's crack this open. I bought this for the first episode, and when I realized how big the beer was, I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to finish this. So let's crack it open. Let's see what it tastes like. Let's see how it looks. And yeah, cheers, everybody. So if you're watching, if you happen to have a beer, cheers with me. I would really appreciate it. So here we go. And also, this will be actually pretty good for some ASMR type thing, because some folks really like to listen to those type of things. So here we go. Let's crack it open. Oh. Oh, that sizzle. I love that, like bubbliness. All right, let's see how it looks. Ooh. Okay, good pour. Perfect pour. All right. So let's see if I can actually get a nice. There we go. So Joyride Brewing. Make sure to check them out. They're not sponsoring me in any way. They're not sponsoring me in any way. But Joyride, if you're watching this, I'm gonna tag you, and if you want to give me some more beer the next time I stop by, I would greatly appreciate it. Who doesn't like free beer? So let's get into it. Cheers, folks. Salud. Man, let me take another one. Oh man, that's good. This one's definitely a good mouthful. Like it's a little thick. The foam is just really fills your mouth a little bit. Really fruity, not super fruity, but it's got some good fruit notes in there. It's not as bitter as I thought it was going to be, given that it's a double dry hopped. But no, it's got some little pine notes. I don't know exactly what's actually in it. I should have read the description when I got it. That way I could have told you guys like a little bit more of what to expect of it. But you know what? It is super tasty. It's super refreshing. And it's super crushable. And I have to be careful because this is a 7% beer. And I don't want to get I have to work tomorrow, so I don't want to show up too grouchy. So I'm going to have to share this with somebody, or I might have to just seal it again, and hopefully it doesn't lose its flavor by tomorrow. But you know what? I'm gonna try and finish it tonight. Screw it. Why not? It's Thursday. But yeah, it's great. Fantastic beer. Salud. Está muy rica esta cerveza. Oh man. All right. Well, let's talk some Nuggets, y'all. First and foremost, the Nuggets did drop their first game of the season against the Minnesota Timberwolves last night, and weird. It was just an overall weird game. It's just one of those weird games that it was like the fourth game. It was like the third game in 4 nights or something like that. Like the Nuggets have been playing a lot of basketball lately, and it showed against the Timberwolves. They definitely looked tired for sure. The only one who really played really good was obviously Nikola Jokic and some of the members of the bench. Jamal Murray was having a tough night. Michael Porter was not having a good night either. Aaron Gordon wasn't really his defensive self. KCP couldn't quite hit a lot of shots. So Nikola Jokic had no help all night. And the bench, when the bench came in, they actually made a little bit of a run. Because earlier on, when the starters started the game, at some point it was like 18-4. They did cut it to like maybe like 13-12 or something like that. And then when the bench came in, they actually kind of cut it a little bit close. They cut it up to like 8, and then it kind of stayed within 10 points whenever the bench was in there. And then again, it was just like, when the starters came back in that second half, when it started the second half, the Nuggets just didn't have it. They had no energy, you can tell. And Nuggets made a little bit of a run to, I think they cut it to like, I can't even remember. That's how bad the game was. I just couldn't, like, it just wasn't exciting. The Nuggets weren't into it. And as a viewer, when the team is just not into it, you just kind of like, you just kind of start not paying attention. You start kind of scrolling your phone. And that's kind of what I did. So my bad for not giving you a full detailed recap of the game, but from just what I saw and what I felt, it was just one of those games where it's just one of those toss losses, because at some point the Nuggets were going to lose, and like I mentioned in the last episode, this was kind of like the perfect game to lose, to just kind of refresh yourself, not, and to knock off that pressure of having a perfect record to start this new NBA end season tournament, because tomorrow night they play the Dallas Mavericks. Why not just kind of get that first loss out of the way to allow yourself to not have that extra pressure for this in season tournament game, which starts tomorrow, and it's this weird little format that the NBA is kind of putting out there. I thought for whatever reason I thought it was going to be like a 2-week long thing. No, it's going to be kind of all over. It's kind of almost like a soccer style group where you kind of play here, you kind of play there, and then you end up having the final like later in the month. So kind of a weird format. I'm still not exactly sure how it works or anything like that. I kind of get the gist of it, but I guess we'll see as the games play along. But other than that, the Nuggets just looked a little bit slow out there. They looked kind of out of sync against the T-Wolves. And like I've said before, the Minnesota is the only team that does have 2 bigs to kind of go up against Nikola Jokic. And not only against Nikola Jokic, but they clogged that lane. And so there was multiple times when Michael Porter drove to the lane hard, and when he saw Rudy Gobert, he kind of had to readjust his shot. Multiple people did that. Jamal Murray ended up having to do a little bit of a step back mid-range shot to kind of offset that length, and even then it was still kind of bothering them. So they were bothered by the length of Minnesota, and rightfully so. They are a pretty big team. They're a lengthy team, and even Anthony Edwards, who plays, I believe he plays a shooting guard. He's also relatively long. Mike Conley, another like really long defender, not relatively tall, but he does have like good defender and also good wingspan. Excuse me. Ooh, there's that first beer burp. There we go. We have to get it out of the way. Anyways, expect a more focused Nuggets team for Friday, for tomorrow's game against Dallas Mavericks. The Nuggets don't tend to lose. Even last year, they don't tend to lose multiple games in a row. It's very rare for them to kind of, it's been rare all of last year was kind of rare for them to kind of have like multiple losses throughout the year. And when it was just kind of like it was either a back-to-back, or they were just either had some injuries, or they just weren't playing well, or even towards the end of last season when they were just kind of giving games away because they just, they had the number one seed locked up. But no, they're back at home. Expect the Nuggets to really hone in on their defense, and they should be rested. They should be ready to go, and it's going to be a fun game. What is up, Colorado? Welcome back to Nuggets and Brews for segment 2. This segment is going to be super quick. I'm your host, Misa, and again, welcome to Nuggets and Brews, where we talk Denver Nuggets and we sip on Colorado craft beer. Earlier in the segment, I opened up this beautiful double dry hopped hazy IPA from Joyride Brewing. Make sure to check them out. And cheers, everybody. My goodness, it's been such a fun show. I love talking Denver Nuggets, so if you're watching, if you ever have any questions, or if you ever want to, leave me a comment as to what you want me to talk about, what kind of beer you want me to try out next, let me know. I would love to really get your input. There's so many breweries in Colorado that there's no way I can try them all, but you know what? I'm going to do my best. So if you have a suggestion, please write it down in the comments. Shoot me a direct message, whatever you want. And maybe sometime I'll see you at a brewery somewhere. So let me know. We can meet up, talk some Nuggets. I love meeting people that love the same thing I do, and obviously two of those things. I love many things, but out of all those things, two of those things is the Nuggets and having delicious beer. So, anyways, let's wrap up segment 2. Segment 2, I want to do predictions, but also I wanted to kind of be able to talk about some expectations as to how I want the Nuggets defense to it's just some defensive predictions, or not even predictions, just some expectations from Nuggets defensively. That way they can really set themselves apart from Dallas, so that way they can get out and run, because the Nuggets are super dangerous when they get out in transition. They're just super good. They know when the Nuggets get out in transition, it's so fun, because you have Aaron Gordon who can dunk, you have Jamal Murray who just goes strong to the bucket, and then you have Jokic who can just do those beautiful passes to whoever's open. So for me, listen, like I said in segment 1, Luka is the primary ball handler. You have to make sure to stay in front of Luka Doncic, because they like to really spread you out. You have shooters on, they like to put shooters everywhere around him, and so you have to really make sure that you stay in front of Luka, and whenever Luka tends to blow by you. You just have to make sure that if you're that help side defender, that if you're rotating over to stop Luka, the next man over has to be able to rotate for that person that initial defender is leaving open, because what happens most of the time is whenever you overcommit to rotating over, you are leaving that guy open. But say Luka Doncic dishes it out, you have to obviously go cover that three-point shooter. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to commit to the point where the three-point shooter fakes it on you, and all of a sudden you get blown by again, and now all of a sudden the whole defense is out of position. So that's the one thing you don't want to do if you're the Nuggets. You want to make sure that you're staying solid. Obviously, the Dallas Mavericks are pretty good three-point shooters. They have really good shooters on the perimeter. So you want to make sure that you just, if you are committing to that, make sure you are stopping, reset your feet, and you're not jumping at them, because you just want to make sure that they're not just driving on you, they're faking on you and then just driving on you, and then that just kind of puts your help side defense your help side defense in a tough situation. So you want to be cognizant of that, and you don't want to be just jumping at three-point shooters. You want to make sure that you stay in front of them, and that way you're if they decide to drive on you, you're able to kind of set your feet, and you're able to kind of shift left or right and be able to continuously stay in front of them. So don't overcommit to the 3-point shooter. Keep your hands up, but don't just jump in and try and contest any shot, because the Nuggets have pretty good length to the to be able to they have enough length to bother these 3-point shooters. So again, don't overcommit. And if Luka just gets a couple buckets on you from that drive, it's not a huge deal, because you want Luka to be that primary scorer. Because at some point, Luka is going to get tired. If he's the only one scoring and no one else is kind of helping him out, that works in the Nuggets' favor. So make sure you're allowing yourself the opportunity to keep everybody else out of the offensive rhythm, and that just kind of forces Luka to just play not necessarily hero ball, but that just makes Luka have to exert a little bit extra energy, because no one's helping him, because he's having to do a little extra more on the offensive end. So just play solid defense. Make sure you're not overcommitting on the 3-point shooters if Luka is dishing it out to them, and just once you secure that rebound, Luka and other players, they are relatively tall in there, and they like to really crash the board. So make sure you secure that rebound and get out and run. You're at the Mile High City. You're at home, so you run it at them, run it back. Make sure you're catching them off guard in transition, because that's where you're really going to shine, and that's where the Nuggets are really going to get a lot of their easy buckets. And if you get a quick score on them, that now they have to run the offense all over again. So just play super solid defense and look for that for the Nuggets against the Dallas Mavericks. So yeah, and now that I've kind of gone over that, for the Nuggets offense, you still obviously want to run things through Jokic, but let's get Murray going early, and let's get some easy shots for him. They tried doing that against Minnesota, but there was almost a couple times where Murray was just kind of got a little bit dribble happy, and he was just kind of doing his moves. He was kind of going in his bag, and nothing was falling for him. So let's just try and get some easy buckets for him, and having Murray going, getting him in an offensive flow. That's definitely going to help out Aaron Gordon, because now players are going to be obviously scared of Jokic. Now they're going to be committing to Murray, and that's going to leave Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., and don't forget about KCP. I mean, the dude can quickly hit a three, and he's so good in that mid range that he'll fake you out in a three, he gets close to that free throw and shooting line, and he just hits those quick 2-pointers on you. So that's that. As long as Murray gets something going, that really kind of eases off everybody else, and that just kind of allows everyone else's defender to kind of come off of them, because they're so worried about Murray, they're so worried about Jokic. So let's get Murray going a little bit, and once Murray sees a couple go in, man, that just kind of gets him going. So I hope that's what Malone does, and yeah, because I would love to see a bounce back game for Murray, because, man, against Minnesota, he had a rough time, and Murray is one of those players where if he's got a bad game, he's going to want to come out hot the next one, and he's just that type of player that he wants to prove it the next game, and he's going to do it. He's going to be like, no, you know what, I had a bad game, I'm probably going to just go for 30 tonight, 35, so let's just get him going early, get some good plays that it's efficient, and that it just kind of gets him in a good rhythm. So anyways, let's go to my prediction for the game for tomorrow. I feel like it's going to be a bit of a high scoring game, given that this is the first game for the in-season tournament. I keep wanting to say play-in tournament, which is dumb. In-season tournament. So, and I forgot, I want to see more of Julian Strawther, and I'm getting a little greedy. Can we please have a Julian Strawther game where he just goes off and all of a sudden people are like, oh my god, the Nuggets have another scoring threat? But I digress. I just wanted to kind of throw that in there because the dude is super cool. Like he's just so smooth. Like he's just like he's got some really cool moves, and he's got like this not necessarily like a deep bag, but he's got some. I know he's got more to his offensive game that we just haven't seen yet, and it'd be really interesting to see like what else he can do. And because we know he can shoot, we know he's got like some good dribbles. He can kind of take. He's got some good handles. It's got a really high arcing floater that sometimes you're like, there's no way he's going to make that. And all of a sudden, it just kind of rattles in. So I definitely want to see some more from Julian Strawther. Anyways, let's get back to my predictions. I feel like this is going to be a high-scoring game. Nuggets 120, Dallas 112. So if I get kind of close to it, all you listeners, please send me $1. But yeah, anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching Nuggets and Brews. Make sure to, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, share with your friends, share with people, and also follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, or X, whatever you like to call it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening to my ramblings. My name is Misa, and I will see you on the next episode of Nuggets and Brews. See ya.